truth that you are a slave. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison for your mind.
Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy, it's a pleasure, it's always my honor to be greeting you and bringing this message of emancipation to you, whereby I'm pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. And that is why I really want to have this esoteric Bible study with you, pointing you to look inwardly. And we are dealing with the 153 abundance frequency, and this is the frequency of abundance and prosperity. But in order for you to understand what I'm saying, you have to first of all realize that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. For the Bible is not literal, neither is it secular history. And the Bible is written symbolically, and it has no reference to anyone who existed thousands of years ago or to any actual event that would have taken place on earth thousands of years ago. So from the beginning to the ending of the Bible, it's all a great psychological drama, and it all have to do with the human psyche. That is why I want to go into St. John chapter 21 and open up the whole mystery for you esoterically or metaphysically. But of course, it would be very good for us to get into the scriptures through this Bible, which is my Bible, the 66 Books of Magic, the Overcomer's Bible, dedicated to Abdullah and Neville Goddard. And in this Bible, there is no Jesus. Jesus has been omitted, and there's a blank space for you to write your name or for you to write I am, because I am is the name of God from generation to generation, and you can never say I am and not referring to yourself. So this parable or this story of abundance using the 153 method is written in St. John chapter 21. Okay, so I would advise you to get your pen and get your paper and take some notes as we look into this Bible chapter from a psychological, metaphysical, esoteric standpoint, whichever way you want to put it. Okay, but these terms that I'm using are not terms that you would hear the preachers using on the pulpit, like the metaphysical understanding of the Bible or the esoteric understanding of the Bible. Now, the entire Bible is encoded and must be decoded, and the language of the Bible is actually a language of symbology. It's a language of symbology. Okay, so I'm going to read the story for you, and then I'm going to break it down for you so you can understand it and you can apply it in your life, because this is a key that I'm giving to you that you can apply in your life. This is beyond theory. This is practical. This is a challenge for you, so that you can challenge yourself and prove for yourself that what I'm saying, it is the truth, and that you have found the key to abundance and prosperity if you look at the Bible psychologically or metaphysically, esoterically. Okay, now it says here and let me say that you can find this in page 76 of my Bible, the 66 Books of Magic. Okay, page 76, the New Testament, because I start my Bible with John, okay, which is love. I start with love. You have to first start with yourself, loving yourself and embracing yourself. Okay, so the way I structure the Bible have to do with your entire life, but how you must start and how you should finish. That's why I actually finish my Bible with the book of Chronicles. Yeah, okay, a summary of what you have done here. That's what it's all about. So it's, as I said before, page 76, and I'm reading St. John chapter 21. Okay, so it says here, after these things I am, I can write your name, showed himself again to the disciples at the sea of Tiberias, and on this wise showed he himself. So right here is showing you it's all about yourself. And as you know, the disciples represent your thoughts. Okay, for a disciple is a follower, and what follow you wherever you go. It is your thoughts that follow you wherever you go. And the Sea of Tiberias is showing you here of a dwelling place. Okay, whenever you think that they are speaking of a geographical place because you think it's secular history, no, it is a psychological place of dwelling it is speaking about. Okay, so as we all know, Abdullah taught Neville Goddard how to interpret the Bible psychologically. And he also taught him that the essential character of the Bible is man's imagination. And that is the mindset I want you to read the Bible with. And also always have your pen and your paper taking notes. That is why each and every one of the books in my Bible, I give a short summary of what it really means psychologically and metaphysically. So you read it with that kind of understanding. Okay, and each time you put your name or you put I am, you are forming all these things in your life, declaring that you're living in your Christ self, because that's the place you're supposed to be dwelling from. Okay, then it says here, there were together Simon, Peter, and Thomas called Didymus, and Nathanael of Canaan in Galilee, and the sons of Zebedee, and 2 other of his disciples. Simon Peter said unto them, I go a fishing. They say unto him, we also go with thee. They went forth and entered into a ship immediately, and that night they caught nothing. But when the morning was now come, I am, or you can write your name, okay, stood on the shore. But the disciples knew not that it was I am. They didn't know their own self. You're living in a world that you do not even know your own self. But there comes a time then you would recognize your creative self when you come to know who you are. Okay? You come to know yourself. I'm just giving you some simple breakdown as I read, but I have written some stuff there. I'm gonna, expand and do stuff for you. Okay? Verses 5. I am then, sorry. Let me just read back verses 4. But when the morning was now come, I am stood on the shore. But when the morning was now come, I am stood on the shore. But the disciples knew not that it was I am. Okay. Then I am said unto them, Children, have ye any meat? Here you are involving in self-talk. Here you are being honest with yourself, checking yourself, examining yourself to see if you're in the faith or not. Okay? And this is how you come to discover the Christ is within you. They answered him, no. You're being honest. You have to be honest with yourself. If you want to grow, if you want to expand, if you want to live a life of abundance, you have to be honest with yourself. If you want to live a life of prosperity, you have to be honest with yourself. If you want to expand and grow, you have to be honest with yourself. And he said unto them, cast the net on the right side of the ship. You have to realize that you've been casting your net on the wrong side. And I will go more forward and explain these things for you. Okay, I would have already written some notes there. And you shall find. Okay, this is the same as saying you must seek. But you have to seek from the right perspective if you want to find. Or with the right motive. Seeking from the right side. Not the left side, the right side. Many people are vibrating on the left side brain of thinking instead of the right side brain of thinking. They're dwelling on the left hemisphere of their brain instead of the right hemisphere. They cast therefore, and now they were not able. Let me just go back to verse 6. And he said unto them, cast the net on the right side of the ship, and ye shall find. They Cast therefore, and now they were not able to jar it for the multitude of fishes. You see, there's a side of you that is not productive. There's a side of you that is not bringing forth. And those of us who are here to lift the frequency and the planet, we are here to encourage you to vibrate higher and to vibrate to that place of abundance and prosperity by aligning yourself on the right side. Okay? Let me get back to this. So he said, and he said unto them, cast the net on the right side of the ship, and ye shall find. They cast therefore, now they were not able to jar it for the multitude of fishes. You would not believe the abundance that would take place in your life when you align your mind in the right place. There would be abundance. There will be an overflowing. That's the reason why you're told to give, and it shall come back to you, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over shall men give into your bosom. And when I say about give here, you give attention to your higher self. You give attention to the instructions. Because you see, your intention and your instructions are very important. When you have your intention, you must apply your attention, your focus. Okay? Verse 7. Therefore, the disciples whom I am loved said unto Peter, it is the Lord. Now when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he got his fisher's coat unto him, for he was naked, and did cast himself into the sea. Many of us fail to realize that we are all naked in this world. There is nothing hidden. Your outer environment will all reflect what is going on within. That's why the mirror technique is so very much powerful and very much important in your life. Practice, mirror work, knowing that everything is a mirroring of yourself, knowing everything is a reflection of yourself, knowing that everyone is yourself pushed out, knowing that everything is naked before us, and we have to clothe ourselves with the right mind, having the right mindset towards ourselves and towards others. Okay, let me go on, verses 8. And the other disciples came in a ship, for they were not far from land, but as it were 200 cubits, dragging the net with fishes. Which I would break down all of these things, what they really mean. As I said, I have some note there, so just be patient with me. As soon then as they were come to land, they saw a fire of coals there, and fish lay thereon, and bread. Your higher self always want to prepare bread and fish for you. If you would listen and you would apply, you will come into the experience of your higher self, your I amness, and you will bring bread and fish. Okay? Now, it says in verses 10, I am said unto them, bring of the fish which ye have now caught. Simon Peter went up and drew the net to land full of great fishes, 153. This is the point I want to get you to. The number that is quoted here, the 153, it's teaching you of the 153 frequency, the frequency of 9, the frequency on which long wave radio and television, all of these things operate on this kind of frequency. This is the kind of frequency I'm getting you on just before you go to bed. And when you wake up on morning, and use the frequency to create your reality consciously. This is the frequency of abundance and prosperity. This is the abundance and prosperity frequency it is teaching you here. By giving you the number of fishes, it's teaching you the frequency that you must vibrate upon to create your reality consciously. And for all there were so many, yet was not the net broken. You see, when you dwell under the energy of love, There is no destruction. Nothing could be broken. Everything will be mended. Everything will be kept in its rightful place. And you will have more than enough. So you will have to share with others. Let me go on to verses 12. It says, I am said unto them, come and dine. It's an invitation. And none of the disciples thus asked him, who art thou? Knowing that it was the Lord. You'll be so assured that imagination creates reality. You'll be so assured when you get in touch with your higher self and you're in control of your mind. You're in control of your time. You're in control of your value or your wealth. When all of these are in full alignment, you don't go wrong with a bunch of questions in your mind, being all curious and being all doubtful. No, you 100% believe because you see the results. Okay, verses 13 say, I am then cometh and taketh bread and giveth them, and fish likewise. This is now the third time. This is completion. Right here showing you a key. When you use your imagination to create your reality consciously, you shouldn't go nothing less than say at least 3 nights or 3 days with your affirmation. That should be the least. So he's giving you at least time that you must hold your intention, that which you so desire. Okay? Repeat yourself 3 times. That is why 3 times 3 is 9. And then the number higher than 9. Okay? Everything must be done decently in order. So he said this was the third time, showing you that at least, do you imagine a lack for at least 3 nights or more, okay? Verses 14 still, this is now the third time that I am shewed himself to his disciples, after that he was risen from the dead. So, okay, after he was risen from the dead, to resurrect anything is to bring forth, is to manifest. Many times people read of being risen from the dead and fail to realize it is you calling those things that be not as though they are. It is you decreeing a thing and it shall come to pass. It is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. It is you applying faith. It's all about faith. Bringing things to life. Bringing things to, taking things from the invisible to the visible. That's what it's all about. Okay, verses 15. So when they had dined, I am said to Simon. Let me just read this last piece. No, I think I should stay here. Okay, verses 15. I think I'll share verses 15 here and just elaborate. Okay, so let me just go back to 14 and read it down to 15. He said, this is now the third time that I am shewed himself to his disciples, after that he was risen from the dead. So when they had dined, I am said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, feed my lambs. Love would help you to want to feed this world with this kind of information that would uplift them and help them to prosper in every area of their life. And this is what the whole teaching of Abdullah and Neville Goddard is all about. And that is why I want to break down for you, right, what it means concerning the net. The net have to do with man's mind. So I have here written, man's mind is the net that catches thoughts. This is where you have all your fishes, which is speaking of your thoughts, which are the basis of external conditions. Everything that is happening on the outside, it all begins within, because everything is mental, everything is psychological. As I said before, everything was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined. Then it speaks of the sea. The sea is what? It is the mental realm in which man exists. We all exist in this mental realm, in this psychological realm. So you're referring to this psychological realm as the sea, where we have all of our fishes, all of our thoughts, all of our ideas, all of our goals, all our dreams. And we are toiling. The toil of all kinds is a combination of mental and physical exhaustion. Many times we mentally exhaust ourselves, we physically exhaust ourselves, and still we're not producing the life that we want to produce. Still we're not living the highest version of ourselves. That's when we would say we toil all night and we have caught nothing. When we be honest with ourselves. Then I have here written again, when man use his mind, he invents. That's when you bring forth. That's when you manifest. That's when you create. When you use your mind, there's no other way that you're going to bring forth or call forth but by using your mind. This is how you're going to raise something from the dead. Because you're supposed to be the operant power. You have to operate the power. If you do not operate the power, then it will be dormant. Then it says here, also I have written here, the spiritual man uses his mind to lighten his toil. You've been toiling all night and you haven't caught anything. Then you realize what was missing, that you wasn't tapping in to your higher self, you wasn't tapping in to the mind in terms of controlling your mind to lighten your toil, to make things a bit easier for you in life. That is why the law that Abdullah taught Neville was all about to ease the blows of life, the things that we would face in everyday life. And here we see we have to get on that 153 frequency. That is why I give you the exercise of the 153, saying to you that you must do your affirmation at least one time in the morning, first thing type thing when you wake up in the morning. Then 5 times throughout the day, do your affirmation. And then 3 times in the evening, especially just before you go to bed, make sure you affirm. And this time when you're going to bed, you affirm 9 times. 9 times with this combination of 1, 5, 3. After you finish 1, 5 and you affirm 3 times in the evening, just before you go to bed, you affirm this thing 9 times before you go to bed. Using the 153 frequency. This is the 153 frequency that I'm speaking about. It's the frequency of abundance and prosperity given to you in a parable in St. John chapter 1. Say that chapter 21, I should say, sorry. Okay. He say, I have here again, the net of man's thought walk hard and long in the darkness of human understanding and gains but little. You see, when we dwell in the intellect and in conformity on all that was taught us from our parents, our teachers, our political, leaders and religious leaders and so on, and we believe what the magics has been offering to us to keep us limitless, to keep us bound, to keep us toiling in our human understanding and gaining little, especially bring us through the education system that taught us what to think but never teach us how to think, and make us feel limited and make us get caught up in the rat race and make us believe that it's a dog-eat-dog world and that we have to all be competing. Unless we break out of that kind of darkness, we'll be toiling in hard and long with little to show for it. But the Christ mind is peace, perceived and obeyed. The net is cast on the right side and success follows. You must be a right brain thinker. You're the one who have to cast your net on the right side. Be a right brain thinker by tapping in to your potentials that are inside of you, by believing in yourself. By believing that imagination creates reality. So there are the left brain thinkers, I said before, and the right brain thinkers. The right side is the side where man realizes the truth. Limitless resources are always present and can be made manifest by those who exercise their faith in that direction. So it's all about imagination and faith. It's all about imagination and faith. So you read this parable in the Bible and it's all happening inside of you. It's all taking place within you. And many people believe that it is literal and that is secular history, and believe that is something that is taking place outside of man, with a special man who has special powers, who walked the earth 2,000 years ago. But that is a lie. It's all about you. You're the one who must exercise the faith into the direction of being limitless. The place of abundance, using what? The 153 frequency. That's why you're told, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. Whatsoever you desire will be added unto you, because you seek the kingdom and the kingdom is within you. And when you discover the kingdom, you will discover the king in the kingdom, and the king in the kingdom is the creator. And when you discover the creator, you will discover also the secret of creation. That's why I say all these things will be added unto you. Therefore, you'll be able to create your reality consciously, which means you can form your life how you want it to be. This is power. This is the key to abundance and prosperity. The 153 frequency that I'm showing you here. Telephone, all these things, they operate in this 153 frequency. The 369 Tesla frequency is the same frequency I'm talking about, 153. It's right here in the Bible. Energy, vibration, and frequency. Think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. That's why he say to Peter, I will even make you fisher of men. Which means you attract the right kind of people in your life to help you on your path. Mastermind connection. I have written here, whoever seeks supply through spirit and submit. Sorry, let me just put on my glasses here. Yeah. Whoever seeks supply through spirit and submit his cause to the law of justice and righteousness always succeed. Everything works according to law. And there's a law of justice, there's a law of righteousness. And I'm saying to you, righteousness can only be found within you when you find that light within you. That's why Malachi wants to tell you that the sun, the sun of righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. Light, you must discover that light within you that will bring you to success. And you must know it's a law of true justice. You cannot get both bitter and sweet water from the same fountain. This law of justice teaches you that whatsoever you sow, that also shall you reap. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You are the cause of everything in your life. Everything is cause and effect. There's no one to blame and no one to change but self. So if you don't like your situation, if you don't like your condition, you got to change it. Only you can change it. Only you can emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Okay, I have written here again, the reason why men fail to demonstrate the many promises of divine support is that they cling to some selfish or unjust thought. They always blaming someone else instead of thinking of they are the cause. That's the reason why the devil is really just people's biggest crutch for them to blame. They use Christianity to hide their poverty of imagination, because real poverty and lack is poverty of imagination. They fail to use their imagination to create their reality consciously. They fail to look inwardly, instead they're looking outwardly to politics, religion, higher education, and all the human understanding. Laboring and gaining very little, toiling all night and haven't caught anything because they haven't tapped into their Christ self. They haven't had an encounter with their Christ self. And they always believe in some unjust thought because they're blaming, as I said, some entity outside of themselves. Okay? I have written here again, the bread and fish that Christ provides on the shore represent the supply of spirit for the need of the body. Every one of us have to survive physically, but not until you tap in spiritually, knowing that your spirit having a human experience and learn to live from the spirit, that you will tap into your supply, because that supply that the spirit provides is limitless. That is why it tells you that the woman at the well, the Christ says, I will give you well of living water springing up from within you. So my brother, my sisters, everything is within. So the supply of spirit, the spirit going to supply all your needs. So you want to take care of the outer, get in touch with the inner. Not only does the Father provide for man in the natural world, as by the draught of fishes, but in the invisible world of substance are elements that correspond to the material thing. So the material thing that we so desire, when you get in touch with the invisible world of substance, and you pull from that element, it corresponds or correlates with the material physical matter that you are experiencing. So everything comes from spirit to matter, from the invisible world to the visible world. So these words that I'm bringing to you are words of assurance, to strengthen you and to build you, so you will never give up on your goals and your dreams. Because you're seeing these things that have been written right here in the Bible, and they've been encoded and must be decoded, because it's all parabolic. So the bread symbolizes the substance of the omnipresent Christ body, and the fish, the capacity of increase that goes with it. So when you understand that you are the omnipotent and omnipresent and omniscient is within you, which is your Christ self, and you see that to be that you are dwelling in a body and you have the capacity of increase inside of you, you understand that all of these fishes that the Bible is talking about, it is the abundance of thought frequencies that are inside of you, because they are infinite states, and it is what you say about yourself and believe about yourself and how you see yourself. Because as I said before, you are the apparent power. Fish are the most prolific of all living things, and aptly No, and with it apply, of increase inherent in the Christ substance. So here we see, when you look at the sea, okay, and the fishes, you realize that the sea is a circle. There's no end. You realize the fishes in the sea. They never go scarce or go dormant that you cannot find fishes in the sea. There's always fishes in the sea. There's always abundance. Our life, our journey here is from our river experience to our sea of knowledge. If you look at nature, you see every river, it ends in the sea. If it doesn't end in the sea, it ends maybe as a tributary, it ends as a waterfall or something. It's not a full river. When it becomes a full-fledged river, it ends in the sea. And it reaches down to the last stage of the river, which is called the old age stage. And there's a middle stage of the river, and there's a youthful stage of the river, which is showing of our birth, and then it's showing of our adulthood, and then it's showing of our older times in life. And then we move into that sea of possibilities, that sea of limitlessness, that sea of our I amness, our Christ self, our God self. So the sea is a type of eternity. That's why it's a circle. It's a circle. So my brother and my sisters, we have to tap in to our eternal self. We have to tap in to that side of us that is spirit, to live the life that we want to live. We want to live a life of abundance and prosperity. I'm saying to you, I'm giving you the key. Use the 153 frequency, that frequency of 9. So now that you really dive into this chapter in the Bible, in St. John chapter 21, you realize what it's really all about. It's not about a man, a literal man out in the sea in a boat. No. When you get that abundance, you'll beckon unto others to come. You'll be showing you that you will help others. You provide jobs for others. You provide opportunities for others. Because you found the key. The key to abundance and prosperity. And that is why I always find the time to be here sharing with you, because I want you to operate the key and live your life how you want it to be. Because there was a time I didn't know this key and I was toiling all night with little to show for it. Being out in a world of competition, being in a dog-eat-dog world, being in the rat race, a system that they have set up to keep you limited, to keep you in mediocrity, to keep you in mental slavery, and most of all, to keep you to have a poverty mentality. But it's time for you to cast your net on the right side. It is time for you to make use of the big blue sea. Do you know there's a blue flame in your forehead? Whenever I meditate and I see that blue flame, I get into the feeling of my wish fulfilled. Long to discover that blue flame right in your forehead, my brothers and my sisters. Whenever you see it, you know it's abundance. Okay? So the abundance frequency is within you. Therefore, my encouragement to you is to always focus inwardly. Love yourself, believe in yourself, and embrace yourself. The stories in the Bible, it's all about you. It is your spiritual autobiography that must be interpreted psychologically. So with that being said, my brother and my sister, I want to thank you very much, and I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me, what I'm saying is really resonating with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I want to encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share this video. Also, I'd like to encourage you to follow me on Instagram at BlackMadGuru. And also, I want to encourage you to check out my Patreon, where I have a lot of good information for you. And I also have the Inner Sound Science and Technology to create your reality consciously, or the Inner Sound Engineering to create your reality consciously. And I'm bringing this to you in a time when they want to dim the sun and they want to black out the sun. But the Bible tells you that the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And S-U-N I'm talking about. And that is in Psalms 84:11. And then it tells you also in Malachi 4:2 that the sun, the S-U-N, of righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. And you use your common sense, you will see that the sun is what powers all of humanity and give all of humanity its energy. Okay, so feel free to check out that on my Patreon also, and that is for people who are donating at least $20 or more. Okay, they will have access to that information. Okay, also if there's any way that you would like to support this work any other way, there is a PayPal and the link is down below. Feel free to check it out. If you feel real deeply led to support this work, do it. If you feel led, always follow your gut feeling. So with that being said, my brother, my sisters, I want to say peace. Love you all. I'm out.